I just wanted to do a quick update on what's going on a planetary level, on personal levels for different people, regarding the collective consciousness and the fears that are being permeated and scattered throughout the collective consciousness, and what we can actually do about this on a personal level. I know from many clients of mine, colleagues and friends, and I know from my own personal experience, that there are changes going on. And we all know this, we all know there's a shift going on. Some people believe it, some people don't. Depends really on where you decide to place your attention. And I'll be talking about that a bit more, actually, on where you are placing your intention and your attention, because that's really important at the moment. There is a collective fear that is happening at the moment. We are part of a collective consciousness. Some people call this Akashic records. I call it morphogenetic fields, which are held within the quantum field on an energetic level that actually affects us consciously and other than consciously. So it affects us through our intuition, our feelings, how we are in terms of health, relationships, everything else. Now, excuse that banging there. That's my neighbour on this quiet Sunday afternoon who's decided to do some work, a bit like England and lawnmowers. Anyway, what I want to say is, you know, we are in this place where there is a frequency change. Some people are talking about this in terms of it being the planetary system, our particular universal system, is working its way through a photon belt. You can actually go onto the internet and find NASA pictures of that if you really want to look closer. Anyway, what's happening with these shifts and these frequencies, it's causing, hopefully, it's causing a planetary awakening. This can be rather a challenge to live through and to experience. And it can be quite a challenge to believe, actually, that there's awakening happening at all, because we are living in this 3D plane of polarity. What people call black, white, good, bad, you know, heavy, light, war, peace, whatever. That polarity causes a contrast within the world and within ourselves. And this can be a really great thing, actually, because the contrast can cause a dissatisfaction. And that dissatisfaction is often a prelude to personal growth, evolution, enlightenment, if you want to say that. And it causes us to want things to change. Now, what many people are saying to me, and what I'm experiencing myself, is this collective fear is becoming really very, very heavy. I live in Bali, as you know, at the moment at least. And Bali has very high energy. It's quite a light place. It's full of ceremony and ancient ceremonies that keep light spirits here, if you like, a lighter kind of consciousness. Recently, this last couple of years, that has been changing. It's been changing because there's a huge change on a collective level that is causing people to feel stressed, sleepless, afraid, have anxiety attacks coming out of the blue, not understanding why. It's causing people this collective anxiety, basically, The polarity is the dark and the light, if you like. And I'm not talking about demonic forces and angelic forces either. I'm talking about a state of being and feeling. When we come from a place of collective fear, it is really all pervading sometimes. It's really important to recognize whether that anxiety and that fear is yours personally, or whether you are actually buying into what's going on at a collective level. What's going on at a collective level within this polarity, if we take this bit here, is wars, shootings, murders, united becoming ununited and in disagreement, peace becoming war, not peace, which is causing people to debate, use their minds to debate in an intellectual manner as to what is right and what is wrong. I know when I go onto my Facebook page that, you know, there's so many postings on there of atrocities. Now, look, I'm all for raising awareness. You know, I am at the forefront of what I do in terms of my work and in terms of mentoring others through these times. I was at the forefront of women's feminism and all of that kind of thing, you know. Not saying that's right, wrong, or whatever, but I was all for raising awareness, and I still am all for raising awareness. However, what are we raising awareness of? You know, are we raising awareness of really moving towards a place of community, union, co-creation, compassion, gratitude, and all those ideals that one could say is spiritual paradigm or spiritual concepts? I particularly don't really like that word, but people understand that word. There's a lot of division going on, even within that spiritual community, regarding what is right, what is wrong. And there's so much fear that's being spread within humanity in different levels, that it's really important to stay aligned as much as possible with who you are at your core. Now, I'm not going to spout a whole load of new agey kind of spiritual concepts at you. Doesn't matter, really, what the concepts are. What matters is that we unhook from this collective fear, that we come towards a place of unifying. So we are a unified consciousness that is standing in a place that is centered within the self, yet also aware that I, as in I, each of us as an I, is also a we. And that we has a huge effect upon us, whether we are conscious of that or not. We can decide whether to, I want to say side, and I will say side, but not in a battling kind of way, but we can side with feelings and intention of loving another person. And I don't mean being in love, huggy, kissy, kissy kind of stuff, but I mean non-judgment, realizing that what another person does is not our business. And rise and stand in a place that truly comes from compassion for the self, acceptance of the self, acceptance of other, in whatever way we can find that. This collective fear that so many of us have been hooking into through politics, through radicalization of what is happening within this world, this spread of fear, this spread of disassociation with other on the most positive way that we can be with another, is truly causing so many people to pick up on an energetic level. So I'm talking intuitively, gut instinct, if you like, to pick up this stuff that is happening within the airwaves of the collective consciousness and unification within that consciousness. We can choose to look in the direction that we truly want to go. To be anti anything is to be in relationship with what you are anti of, basically. And to be in relationship on a quantum level means that you hook in to yourself, into your own emotional, mental, and physical field, what it is that you say you don't want. This is how it actually works. You know, it's called the observer effect, both in psychology and in quantum. The observer effect says that what you observe, you make solid. Now we as a collective, and I mean humanity as a collective, have made real this matrix of polarity that puts forward what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, and bases that on gender, bases that on sexuality, bases that on religion, bases that on color, bases that on the actions of another. When we realize that we are all connected in this quantum soup, in this universal collective, we realize that what we see in another is what is part of ourselves. And it may be a part of ourselves we don't like, but we all of us contain the ability to love or to hate, the ability to fight or to be at peace. What is causing this collective anxiety, which has then been personalized, because when we feel the anxiety, it becomes a personal thing, and all of the head stuff starts to activate and try to explain it away, usually in terms of finances, health, relationship. You know, we become more and more fully in relationship with what it is we don't want. Now, for those of you who know me personally and who work with me, you will know that I'm not really a woo-woo out there person. Yes, I see spirit. Yes, I see light, globes. Yes, I have visitations from various beings, is what I will say. Yes, I channel through information, but ultimately, the whole reasoning for this is really about how we can apply the information that is brought in a practical way in this time that is the Great Awakening, and in this time when we are being called to hold firm with who we are at the core of our being. So what do we do on a practical level? Well, first of all, we recognize that that collective fear is insidious and that we don't have to buy into this. We can clear it from ourselves just with recognizing that, yes, we are all fearful on occasion for various reasons. It's called the survival instinct. But that this collective fear is awakening us to make a choice. And I'm not saying this is a choice of good, bad, right, wrong. I'll say that again. This is a choice of to love or not to love. This is a choice for peace or not to peace. You know, this is a choice of having your own personal opinion, if that's what it is, but not having to then war about that personal opinion. And I have noticed so many comments recently where, even just talking about the European Union, for instance, there is a separation and a debate that's happening even amongst good friends, which is causing aggravation, insults, and all sorts of other things. Now, is that my business on a personal level? No. On a level of soul purpose, to actually bring myself into alignment with my soul purpose, then I am called to share what I am given to share. No matter how scary that might be for me, because yes, people are going to judge. Whatever, people always judge. Now here we go. Judgment brings up separation. As soon as we make a judgment that that person is that kind of person, we are already making a separation. It's a challenging place to come from, to remain in a place of non-judgment. And so rather than non-judgment, I would say acceptance. So to come from a place of acceptance is really necessary. Now, am I saying accept bombings, accept killings, accept that the politicians are all crazy? No, I'm not. What I am saying is remain in awareness that there is currently a lockdown of consciousness upon this planet, which is pervading most places now. And that you can rise beyond this lockdown when you realize that we are all one collective consciousness. And what we have co-created, this place of duality, this place of right, wrong, good, bad, it's a very powerful act that we have actually stepped forward and participated in throughout the ages, up to now. And I say now in this time frame, linear now, because really all time is now, but let's just go with the gravitational pull of where we are in this 3D reality at this moment in time, rising into a different state of consciousness. Now, when I talk about that, what I'm saying is we are being made aware of what's happening in this world because it's great to have awareness. Because within that awareness, we can see the contrast and the difference of what it is that we want and what we choose not to have. And if we see what we choose not to have, which is war, fighting, argument, blah, 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 not to get entangled in that, quantumly entangled. In other words, we could come in relationship with what we see, what we participate in, and we put our awareness into. So we don't become entangled within that. We choose to see something else, be something else, become what we want to see in the world. That's why so many teachers say that. If you want to see a change, become that change. And that change does not happen if we argue and fight and debate about the right and wrong, what happens is that we have this stronger quantum entanglement with what it is that we're saying we don't want. So on practical terms, turn away. Don't ignore, but turn away. Don't get indignant about it. Rather choose a path that in your own personal way brings the light. And when I'm talking about light, I'm talking about love and higher consciousness, as in not better or worse, but a lighter way of being, which is what we say that we want. A higher consciousness means compassion. It means gratitude. It means understanding. It means empathy. It means an acceptance of other. Now, I am not going to say that what others are doing are right or wrong. We can feel within ourselves what is of a lighter way of being and what is heavier, what makes us feel expanded and what is making us feel contracted. If you are then feeling contracted in your mind and in your heart when you are talking about something, or how you're treating another person, or how you are treating yourself, then you are buying into that collective crap, basically. The truth is not the fear. The truth is we are powerful co-creators in this matrix that we have made. We are now moving through this to co-create something different. We co-create something different by caring for ourselves, by caring for others, by sending blessings. And when I say blessings, I'm not saying condoning atrocity. I'm saying sending blessings, as in giving gratitude to those souls who have been heavy enough to participate in crap behavior, in killing another human being, in constantly arguing and debating. What I propose is what I live by, and it mainly works for me, and it mainly works for my clients. When we don't buy into this collective bubble, this collective matrix, it is truly time to unplug from this matrix and use yourself as a conduit, as a channel for higher consciousness, as in lighter frequency. We do this by loving another. And I don't mean being in love and doing all of that, but blessing another when we are with them. By smiling at a stranger, by participating with others in talking about how we choose to co-create the new matrix. Well, hopefully it won't be a lockdown matrix, but to co-create. Love. We do this on a daily basis by giving thanks for the work we have, whether we like it or not. We do this on a daily basis by giving thanks for our family members, whether we agree with them or not. We do this on a daily basis by giving thanks to our friends, whether we have the same opinion or not. We do this on a daily basis by looking into the eyes of a child and seeing the star being that is within that child, the bigger, huge soul that that child is, and the joy that they have come to bring upon this earth plane. We do this on a daily basis by uniting in a space that is peaceful for the self and for other. the collective fear is rising now because the powers that be, whatever those powers that be, I'm not going to go into it because I'm sure you're all aware, are more and more aware of this shift that is happening and this awakening that is happening. The stupidity of that is that as we become more and more aware, we make choice for what it is that we want and we move towards what we want. And what we want is what? Unification, to realize that we are all here as divine expressions of the God force, the universe, the quantum matrix, the Christos, the Yahweh, the Allah, whatever you want to call that God force. It is really important now to be aware of the state of beingness that you are choosing to be in. Because this state of beingness is a frequency. And the frequency that you put out, or I put out, just like joining the wavelength on your TV set or on your telephone when you're phoning someone, you want to speak with someone who is high, light, and loving to you? Or do you want to speak with someone who is punishing, warring, complaining all the time about the old story? The wavelength that you choose to join is the co-creation, is the awakening, or it is the co-creation of staying asleep and in that space of heavy. The choice is ours. We are not an I, we are a we. I is the true expression of your soul aspect that has come here into this 3D reality to experience this particular shift that is happening. And I am not minimizing that you may have financial troubles. I am not minimizing that you may have health problems. I'm not minimizing that, you know, you may not have a relationship and you are lonely or whatever. There's such a gamut of things out there that we experience. But really those things out there are in here. They are within the self. And how we choose to perceive what we give meaning to is what decides on whether we live in a place of peace or whether we live in a place of non-peace. If we aggress against another, we already know it doesn't feel good. Truly. I mean, when you fight, when you argue, when you complain about, you can feel the drop. This time now of awakening is about feeling the rise. It's feeling the rise within the self of having compassion, of having acceptance, of trusting that as you come into that place of peacefulness and acceptance, that things change. It's not beneficial to watch the news, read the papers, scan through, surfing the net, shall I say, looking for justification of your heaviness. That is buying in even more to the collective fear. It is beneficial to listen to uplifting material, no matter who you choose to listen to. It is beneficial to look in your child's eyes and see the beauty of that soul. It is beneficial to smile at a stranger in the street, just because you can feel their pain, or even if you can't. So, unhooking from the collective fear is to recognize that there is this polarity at the moment, and this one here is perpetuating the fear and the lockdown of the creative force that you truly are. And this polarity is opening your awareness to awaken, to choose. Choose how you want to be. This isn't about fighting on a global level. This is about choosing peace within the self, and peace with your family members, and peace with your friends, and peace with strangers, no matter what their religion, color, gender, sexuality, whatever. It's a really important time at the moment to recognize that. Those are the practicalities. You know, start your day giving thanks that you do have water, that you have heat if you need heat, or you have cool if you need cool, that you have clothes to wear, that you have people who love you. It's time for us to come into a community where we are co-creating on a collective level what we are choosing to co-create. That is the awakening, that is the shift. By doing that, you are already embodying and being what it is many, many of us, the majority of us now are saying we want: peace, unity. So if you are feeling anxious, if you are feeling if you can't sleep, because many people are saying they're not able to sleep at the moment with what's happening. If you are having difficulty with these things, come into your heart, find the place of peace there. And know that as you do that, you are making a difference, because you are a cell in this body of this co-creation that we are on earth. You are vital. Vital. Piece of the puzzle. Okay. I know that wasn't all laughy, giggly, and happy as I usually am when I connect with you all. But I just really wanted to put this out so that you realize that we are exiting this matrix. Things are being stirred up, and it's up to you which kind of beingness you choose. So I'm sending love, as always, and thanking you for listening. Peace be with you. Bye.